Welcome to River Tales. River Tales is a 30-minute program that will introduce you to fascinating people, take you to interesting places, and enlighten you on important events that happen in our region. River Tales is sponsored by Southeast Health. On this edition of River Tales, students of Southeast Missouri State reflect on the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. We visit a new cigar lounge in Cape Girardeau. You'll meet an international exchange student who is crowned Miss China, and finally, we'll meet a master brewer of beer in the local area. Stay tuned to River Tales.
I'm a father of 3. 2 boys, 1 little girl. Taking care of them is my top priority. I'm a father, and cancer doesn't change that.
At the Southeast Cancer Center, we know that your life doesn't stop because of cancer. You are a person with a life to live. Ask your doctor about the difference at the Southeast Cancer Center.
As an American clergyman, activist, and prominent leader in the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King Jr. has inspired countless individuals with his teachings to achieve political and social change. Students at Southeast Missouri State reflect on the legacy of Dr. King.
His story is one that should, and I believe will, continue to inspire us as we move into the future.
He will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
With Dr. King's vision, my family has hope and has the capability to accomplish anything and everything.
Martin Luther King Jr. has made a huge impact on lots of people's lives today, from the jobs to voting to drinking water from a fountain.
This note was a promise that all men, yes, black men as well as white men, would be guaranteed the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
I say unto you, love your enemy, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you.
For me personally, it is easy to respect a man who understood the importance of nonviolence and also cooperation between the races in the quest for equality. The world I was born into in the early 1980s was already very different from the world into which my parents were born. Not only did Dr. King make great strides in gaining equal rights for the African American citizens, he also helped restore humanity to America's white citizens by removing them from the role of the oppressor. Dr. King has helped create a society in which racism and discrimination is far less acceptable than it was, even when I was born. I think this is certainly a result of Dr. King's teachings and work. There is no question that America still has a long way to go down the road to total racial equality. By no means have we arrived. However, it takes generations to change the ideology of a nation. I really believe that as new generations are raised with the ideals preached by Dr. King, and children grow up seeing him as someone to emulate and revere, our nation will continue the march towards equality. His story is one that should, and I believe will, continue to inspire us as we move into the future. As the legacy of Dr. King lives on, long after his death, should I have children one day, I believe they will live in a better America than the one in which we live today. Dr. King may be dead in body, but in spirit, the spirit of his convictions continues to live in the lives and hearts of those who value him and his work.
I'm a Mexican-American born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri. For many years, Mexican Americans were treated just unfairly as African Americans were. Our education was different, we didn't have the right to vote, our equal opportunities were unheard of. But all of that has changed. Many people have stood up and actually made different changes in the world. My father was one of them, making the decision to come to the United States at a very young age. It wasn't easy for him, mainly because of the language barrier that he had, but interacting with the people in the States has helped him become better at speaking. Years have passed and he was still an illegal immigrant, working hard until an amazing opportunity crossed his path. In 1986, the United States decided to grant citizenships to Hispanics living in the U.S., and my father was one of the lucky ones to obtain that privilege. Growing up, I never understood my father's struggle, but now that I'm a young adult, I see the better picture. Being a Mexican American in this country today makes me appreciate and actually feel the struggle that my father went through. What the future has in store for us, we don't know, but we're actually going to be ready for it, knowing that more opportunities are coming and they're opening up for us, and the only thing that we can do is take them. The only thing that can stop us is ourselves. Challenges in life can break us. We are human and we're not perfect, but they can't kill us. They can only make us stronger.
Both of my parents are educators, and they continue to teach me the value of education, hard work, and dedication. My dad is old enough to remember when his school was first segregated. He was in the 2nd grade. He said he remembers how angry the people were back then, and how people said that he would never amount to anything because of the color of his skin. My father told me that this drove him to be successful. Luckily, I never had to experience any of these things because of the people before me. I have lots of friends, black, white, and Hispanic. They all mean the same to me on the inside. I am thankful for the diversity in this country because of how much you may learn about another person based on where they come from or how they were raised. Culture and family are two very important things to me, and I am thankful to be able to share my culture and my family with others. One way that Martin Luther King Jr. has impacted my life is by providing African Americans with equal opportunity. Without his efforts, I would not be able to attend a four-year university and play football. Martin Luther King Jr. has made a huge impact on lots of people's lives today. Sports are how I express myself. Some of my best friends and biggest life lessons have come from playing a sport. Because of the people that made sacrifices back in the 60s, I am able to play on a national stage and will be judged by my talent and intelligence instead of how dark my skin is. I plan to be successful to make those who made this possible for me very proud.
My great-grandparents come to mind when I think about the movement. Both were born in the 1930s, and I'm truly blessed to still have them here today. They both have seen and lived through the Great Depression, World War II, and especially the Civil Rights Movement. African Americans endured adversity and negativity for over 400 years, being brutally beaten, ridiculed, and disrespected because they were different. My great-grandparents did not have the right to vote, nor were they able to speak out for change, even though they were extremely capable of doing so. I cannot imagine living through the Civil Rights Movement. With Dr. King's vision, my family has hope and has the capability to accomplish anything and everything. His legacy also teaches us to be better human beings and lend a helping hand. More doors are open for us. Instead of asking for permission, we can kick the doors down ourselves. His legacy gives us the power to be more than just an athlete. We can be entrepreneurs, lawyers, doctors, artists, politicians, and even the President of the United States. We are able to expand our horizons because we have an abundant amount of access to many resources. With change comes evolution. Evolution is the epitome of real progress. It is defined as any process of formation or growth. It is very important that we as the human race embrace evolution because it is the key to our well-being. How can one accept change when they do not make the effort to embrace the steps needed for development? Several years from now, when I decide to have children, I will make it my duty and obligation to teach them about Dr. King's legacy, as well as the movement and how much of an impact he had on the world, There is always room for improvement, and every day is a new day for new beginnings and to be better. Every day is a new day to stay positive and to succeed. In the words of my dad, there's no more back of the bus, and we are capable of going the distance. I plan to do just that and then some.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Green, green. It's your home, it's your dream. Radon testing, keep it healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
Making it green starts from the ground up, so make sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Test your home for the presence of radon. Go to epa.gov/radon.
Make it green, green, green.
Mark Twain once said, "If I cannot smoke a cigar in heaven, then I shall not go." Since Christopher Columbus introduced the cigar to the New World, they've been popular ever since. Cape Girardeau has a new business that embraces that love for the cigar.
For many people, smoking cigars is more of a passion than a hobby. Cigars have a deep cultural history in our country, stemming all the way back to Christopher Columbus, who first brought cigars to Europeans after a visit to present-day Dominican Republic. Cigar smoking quickly spread out across Spain and Portugal, later becoming popular in Italy and Britain. It first appeared in North America in the mid-16th century, where tobacco quickly became a commercial product. The cigar industry boomed, where it employed many hand rollers before the Industrial Revolution. King Edward VII enjoyed smoking cigars at his dinner parties. Legend states he would end these dinners by saying, "Men, you may now smoke." An American line of cigars was named King Edward in his honor. Many iconic figures throughout history have been known for their love of cigars. Ulysses S. Grant and Sigmund Freud are among those who have become synonymous with cigar smoking. Winston Churchill, rarely ever seen without his cigar during his time as Britain's Prime Minister, even has a cigar size named after him, the Churchill. We recently had a chance to sit down and talk to Scott Petroface, owner of the cigar shop Fumatore de Sigaro, which also houses Cape Girardeau's only cigar smoking club.
I like to refer to the cigar as an affordable luxury. The reason being is that some of them can become very expensive, but they don't have to be. You can get a very good $3, $4, $5 cigar, but you can also spend in excess of $50 or $60 on a cigar. I have a lot of folks that come in here that are very experienced they're actually cigar aficionados. I have quite a few enthusiasts, and I have a lot of younger folks that are getting into it. The only thing I caution them on is that don't start too strong too fast. Take the advice of myself or one of my cigar club members that have been smoking a long time, and then go with it. The other thing that we offer here is some education. So if you don't know specifically what you're looking for or how to even get started, I can help you with that. I have a few people here in the club that can help you with that. Throughout the past 20 years or so, stogie has been a common nomenclature for cigar. And it's created a bad stigma, because when you say the word stogie, people just think cigar. They don't know the difference between whether it's a handmade or a premium hand-rolled cigar from one of the many countries that produces really good cigar tobacco. Some of your best tobacco seeds have actually come from Cuba. And then over the years, because we've had an embargo with Cuba, they've taken the seed to the Dominican Republic, to Nicaragua, to Honduras, to Panama, to Indonesia, where they're able to grow the tobacco. Now, it's not going to be the same as if it was actually grown in Cuba, but you're still able to get the benefits of the seed and the tobacco leaf. They also they do the same thing with tobacco seeds that they would do with corn or with any other kind of plant that's grown. They make hybrids out of them, they combine them, and then this way they're able to create new flavor profiles, new strengths, new strains, new sizes of plants. We offer a cigar club here. Some folks decided to sign up for the whole year. Some folks pay on a monthly basis. But what it is it offers cigar smokers an opportunity to be part of a club where they can share their passion for cigars with other cigar smokers. We offer personalized humidified lockers for the cigar club members, and then they also have the privilege to bring their own alcohol. They get together, a few days a week. They've all become very good friends. They play poker, they have a couple of drinks after work. It's a place to unwind, to decompress, and to actually, share your passion for cigars with others.
Actually, to have a lounge where you can come in and get away from work, or get away in an evening and come and watch TV, hang around with the guys, smoke a cigar and enjoy yourself. That's what makes this lounge really nice.
We share a lot of camaraderie, as in, not just smoking cigars, but maybe watching the same kind of sports on TV, a place to relax and have a drink, and spend some time away from home without the wife worrying about where we're at.
With all the laws being passed against smoking in certain areas, it's really nice to just have a place and kick back with your friends, meet some new guys. Cigar Lounge is a great place to do that, especially here.
The camaraderie that we have amongst the guys that come in here, we know each other very well, we know what we all do, and that bond for cigars is strong. So, I know that I can usually see most of the guys down here, and we can talk about what's going on in their lives, and it's a good place just to come and relax.
It's all about the experience, and if you're not going to enjoy the experience of smoking a cigar, then there's really no sense in getting started.
I'm Peter Gallagher. Infantile scoliosis is a potentially fatal condition that is curable if treated under the age of 2. Don't wait. Visit infantilescoliosis.org. When you save a life, you save a world.
Before she traveled to Cape Girardeau, Missouri to attend Southeast Missouri State, Yao Yun Kang served as her country's spokesperson as Miss China.
I am a senior student in Southeast, and I was Miss China in 2008. This whole process took half a year to complete until Olympic Games in 2008 in Beijing. My president of my university, Chinese university, recommended me to represent my university to participate in this competition for our university. That was my honor to do it, to represent my university to do it. And if I win it, I can represent China to pretend to the Olympic Games. So that's why I want to do it. My president of the university, he didn't just choose me. He chose 30 girls from my university to represent my university. Then we went to a city competition in the capital of our province. And then in the capital of our province, we had more than 500 or 600 girls to compete with each other. Then after that, they choose 10 girls to go into the capital of China. Then we compete in Beijing for 3 months. To winning Miss China, first we had a swimming suit competition. Then we had a Chinese traditional dress for just a model show. Then they have a dance competition, singing, and Chinese opera, something like that. You can in each competition you can choose you can dance or sing or doing a Chinese opera for that. Just choose what you're good at, After we going to Beijing, we had some competitions similar like this, but finally made to Miss China, we completed more than 50 competitions, I think. I won the competition. I think there are 2 reasons. One, my leader, my coach, he was in charge of those girls, and he liked me a lot. and he helped me a lot about this competition. And another reason is that I'm very good at Chinese opera. I think this is important, and I'm so friendly with friends. So I think this is pretty much why I win this. The director of Olympic Games for 2008, he told me that maybe China won't have another opportunity to have to have our Olympic Games until we being a grandmother, you know. So I think this is what the only time I can pretend to Olympic Games and work for Olympic Games. During the practice for the Olympic Games, we train it a lot. For example, we have to put a bottle on the head and practice your balance feelings. Then you stand there for more than 3 or 4 hours, then you can move. The opening ceremony is perfect. That's just because everybody prepared very well for that. And I think not only Miss China, only me or the other performers and the other actors or directors, they were working very hard for that. Like they slept in couch the whole month almost. And we practiced the whole process of the opening ceremony just over and over again. So until August 8th, I had no feelings for the process, you know, because we did it every day. After becoming Miss China, I think I probably more easier than somebody else to find a job in China. And the Beijing television, they asked me to work for them, and Hong Kong television also gave me an opportunity to work in Hong Kong. My parents were so proud of me, and my university, even after I back to my province, there's a lot of television interviewed me, and it's like there's a lot of TV shows or news report this event like a big event for our province. I think there are more than 1 million students in China to compete for Miss China. Then I was so nervous for that, you know. Then I didn't expect that I'll win this, but I finally did.
Mike Mills has been in the beer brewing business for over 10 years. The recipe for beer making has been around for centuries, but it takes a master to perfect the color, the look, and the taste of a good beer. Mike is a brewmaster at a local restaurant, and his skills can be seen and tasted in a variety of ales, lagers, and beers.
Today, beer is the most consumed alcoholic beverage in the world and is the most popular drink after water and tea. Local brewmaster Mike Mills has perfected his craft of making beer at Buckner Brewing Company in historic downtown Cape Girardeau.
There's so much that can be said for beer. Beer has been a part of the world's history for the last 6,000 years. It was discovered on accident when grains got wet, left out in the rain, and that water was consumed, and those initial consumers thought that the spirits were working through them as a result of this liquid, which is why alcohol is known as a spirit. My favorite part of brewing beer is sitting there in the brew house and looking out at the bar and seeing people enjoying the product that I've labored over for hours. Seeing those people enjoying that at the bar and then chatting with them about that product. It's a one-on-one interaction that most people don't get when they have a beer.
Brewing beers for over 11 years, Mike Mills has learned to put a twist on the traditional beers that the big industries brew.
The beers that I brew here are typically traditional style beers that I like to put my own twist on. A lot of them are ales. There are a few lagers that I'll do throughout the course of the year. Most of them are traditional styles with a unique twist, which is what separates us from other breweries.
Learning to brew beer at the age of 21, from a home brewing kit he received on his birthday, Mills has critiqued his beer to make one's taste buds jump.
This is barley. This is the base for all of our beer. The barley has been malted, which means it's been germinated and then kiln dried. Different durations of time for the kiln drying will offer different flavors, different colors, everything from a sweet caramelly kind of flavor all the way to a roasty, coffee-like flavor.
The 10 to 14 hour process of making beer begins at the mill, where one can smell the aroma of barley.
So this is our mill. What we do with the mill is we crush the barley. What we want to end up with is the husk of the barley and about 6 to 8 large pieces of the barley. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to increase our surface area, which helps us with a better extraction of starches and sugars. So what we're doing here is we've milled the barley. What we're aiming to get is those 6 to 8 chunks of the inside of the barley as well as the husk. And some of these appear to be not milled, but once you start to fiddle with them, they break right up. So this is the base of beer.
From one machine to the next, this is a professional trade one has to have such a passion for.
So once we've knocked off the heat through the blue rascals here, we ship it again through these hoses and over to one of the fermenters where we've got cakes of yeast waiting on us. And once we've got all the yeast off the bottom, we ship the beer through these hoses again down to the ice house.
The ice house consists of 11 conditioning tanks. Combined, these tanks can hold over 1,500 gallons of beer. It is the brewmaster's favorite room in the brewery.
This is the ice house. This is my favorite room in the building. Again, it's 42 degrees in here. Everything that's fermented comes through a chase in this wall and down to these tanks. And these tanks, you might notice the bottom is not conical shaped like the fermenters upstairs. The reason being is that the conical shaped fermenters are like that so that we can harvest the yeast that falls out of the beer. By the time the beer gets down to this point, there shouldn't be any yeast in it, little if any. So what we're able to do is we're able to hook up a CO2 line to the bottom of the tank and force carbonate these beers so that within a matter of 4 to 6 hours, we're able to take a beer from being totally flat to totally heady. From there it goes, we open up the bottom, hook up a line, and it goes to both bars.
With a waiting period of roughly 3 weeks, the only thing left to do is to enjoy a nice chilled glass of beer. And to Mills, this is what it's all about.
All right, well this is the finished product. This is the love of my labor. This is what it's all about here. We've got the pale ale, the amber ale, the porter. This is the best time to be a brewer, when it's time to sit down and enjoy a beer and enjoy some company. And you know, I'm the only guy I know who doesn't mind taking my work home with me. So this is it. This is what it's all about.
So the next time you're enjoying a mouth-watering beer of your choice, don't forget about the hard work and dedication that is put into it.
I am a sister. Actually, I'm the oldest of 5. And my house is where everyone gathers. Taking care of things, well, that's just what I do. I'm a sister, and cancer doesn't change that. At the Southeast Cancer Center, we know that your life doesn't stop because of cancer. You are a person who touches other lives every day. Ask your doctor about the difference at the Southeast Cancer Center.
Each month we'll take this journey where there are many places to go, there are many interesting people to meet, and many new things to see. Join us again for River Tales.